Rebs. Day 3 continues from Maui.
You're watching ESPN's presentation of college football. We'll be back with more action after these messages.
I'm a ref being chased out of town after the worst game of my career. You forget one down and the whole stadium turns on you. And if you have cut rate insurance, they may not pay for all this. So get Allstate. You can save money and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Shop less, get more. Make one call to an Allstate agent.
Be yourself. Be refreshing. Be 7-Up.
Tell us about Golden Corral's new chocolate Wonderfall.
You can dip whatever you want in it. There's fruit and macaroons and Rice Krispie treats.
Only Golden Corral would introduce the indulgently delicious chocolate Wonderfall. Be sure to join us Thanksgiving Day and for breakfast the day after Thanksgiving.
Hey, where you been?
Took my car again, huh?
Yes? Yes, I did.
270 horsepower, plenty of torque. Yeah, it's a blast. The new Regal GS from Buick.
You'd be shocked how much data you use in a month. Email, status updates, finding your way, uploading photos, downloading an app, and another app. Kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes, all stacking up until you reach your limit. And what happens if you go over? With Sprint, you don't have to worry. Only Sprint offers truly unlimited data.
1:34 to go. Stout's just a freshman out of Dublin, Ohio. He battled it out with Boyd in the spring, and Boyd barely won. And they told Stout to come in and work hard during the summer, work hard during the fall. He was going to have a shot at it. He did, but was held off by Boyd. They are 0-2 on 4th down today, taking another shot here on 4th and 18. And they got the first down and more. Ford dives for the end zone. They're going to mark him out of bounds outside the 2. Nice throw by Stout.
Yeah, you know, and those are the little things that you go into the spring workouts, winter workouts, and you're like, oh man, you know what? Look what Stout did. He's a good player. And you got Ford getting a little confidence in what he did. Very few missed tackles that we've seen in the secondary, but this is a result of some guys playing that maybe hadn't been playing.
And Clemson gets its first touchdown of the game with 1:22 left as Bellamy bursts into the end zone. You mentioned it earlier. Who would have guessed 37-13? We'd be talking about NC State and not Clemson, the number 7 team in the country. Point after is good. But NC State is going to go to 6-5. Clemson is going to fall to 9-2. After an undefeated start, they ran into Georgia Tech in Atlanta, struggled against Wake Forest, and got whacked tonight.
Wow, look at those offensive numbers and how far off they were. The domination in the rushing department.
And the rushing is the biggest thing. 34 yards.
And they had Andre Ellington back. That was a big missing piece when they lost at Georgia Tech.
Exactly.
Got him back last week and thought maybe they had something going there. Just never happened. I mean, they never found any kind of rhythm in this game.
Well, it doesn't matter how good your offense is. If you turn the ball over and the defense is going to give up 37 points, you're going to be in a world of hurt. It'll be interesting to see this week how they come out with those injuries along the offensive line. And the Sammy Watkins story, will he be able to come back and play? You know they didn't want to take a chance with him today. The last thing you need is to take one of the best players on the planet and trot him out there and re-injure something. So I think that was a great decision.
Yeah, it was.
Keeping his best interest in mind.
Virginia playing Florida State. That's going to be an interesting deal there. If Virginia loses, Virginia Tech clinches. And they would meet Clemson for the ACC championship. Virginia, I'm so impressed with what Mike London's done for that football team.
Yes.
A couple weeks ago did Virginia and Miami. Michael Rocco, they finally left him in, let him be the quarterback. They stopped rotating quarterbacks. Big offensive line, good looking line. They can run the football. The defense is big and strong. They're going to be hard to beat. They're good. Yeah, Florida State's going to have to play a good game.
And Florida State has gotten better. They got off to a slow start after a great game against Oklahoma. Of course, you go back to that old line, Craig. If you have 2 quarterbacks, do you really even have 1?
No, that's exactly right. And Florida State's defense is playing well. Just like it seems like we were probably there 2 or 3 weeks ago. It seems like a year ago.
NC State expecting the onside kick. This gives both teams a chance to work on this a little bit. Manning is right there to snatch it out of the air.
Wow, what a great play. You know, those guys on that front line are taught. You've got to go for it. And Manning, a linebacker, how about that?
Yeah, they tell you not to wait for it. Go up there and get that ball. Hawkins made a heck of a hit on him, but Manning snatched it onto the air and held on. And now NC State's going to be able to kill the clock with 1:22 to go in the ball game. It's funny how certain teams are able to dominate the others. Tom O'Brien has beaten North Carolina 5 straight times. Every year that he has been here, he has won that rivalry game. But this is his first victory against Clemson, and it came on a day when he had to have it. This team needed to win so they can beat a chance to beat Maryland next week and be bowl eligible.
It's hard now to sneak up on a Marine.
Thank goodness.
He's not smart.
No, it's just here. Give me the towel.
You guys have fun? All right.
You almost have to squeeze it out of him, you know?
That's priceless.
Good for him. And a tremendous round of applause from the NC State faithful who saw their Wolfpack come through today. Tom O'Brien and Dabo Sweeney exchanging handshakes. Good show of sportsmanship in the middle of the field. What a win for NC State, 37-13.
You know, it's a blow for the ACC, though. I mean, this conference, John Swofford, the ACC commissioner, we met back in the summer, and we were talking, and they needed a bell cow. They needed someone to break through and have a great season. Virginia Tech now carrying that banner, that mantle. They've got to have a strong finish because the perception of the ACC is it's not a great conference. People just don't understand this is a good football conference. A lot of good teams, and today an example of that, of what NC State can do. A good football team, not a great record.
And maybe the biggest series of all, which will be lost in the recap of this game, was when Clemson couldn't get it in on the drive early in the ball game. They had to settle for a field goal, and they went up 3-0. It was virtually all North Carolina State after that. They had a brilliant day.
Thanksgiving week. Look forward to seeing you.
All right, pal. Once again, our final score, NC State 37, Clemson 13. For Craig James and our entire crew, this is Mike Patrick saying so long from Raleigh, North Carolina. Now we send you back to the studio.
You're watching ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's.
Welcome to the Valley Isle, Maui, Hawaii. It doesn't get much better than this. Tropical locale, an abundance of sunshine, temperatures in the 80s. And as folks prepare for their Thanksgiving celebrations, we're set to bring you day 3 of the EA Sports 2011 Maui Invitational. Hi, everybody. Dave O'Brien with you live poolside from the Maui Westin Resort and Spa as we're getting set to bring you 4 great college basketball games today that culminates in the championship of the Maui Invitational coming up at 10 o'clock Eastern Time tonight on ESPN. All I need right now is an analyst, my man Jimmy Dykes, who is never in. Thanks, Jim. Thank you very much. We'll get both of us toweled off. Be back. Nicely done. You stuck the landing again. The things he'll do for television. Welcome to Feast Week, presented by Lowe's, and from the Lahaina Civic Center, it's coverage of the 2011 EA Sports Maui Invitational as the Tennessee Volunteers take on the Silver Swords of Chaminade. Great to have you along on a spectacular day. Here's a look at the summary of the tournament. Duke undefeated. They're in the championship game. They have never lost here in Maui. Kansas looking for their first title since '96 here. And a game of the tournament, certainly the team we're about to see, Tennessee, their double overtime loss to Memphis. We got him toweled off. Dave O'Brien and Jimmy Dykes with you. Jimmy, Tennessee has to bounce back very, very quickly after a heartbreaking loss yesterday.
They have really played well on the island. Tennessee has to be 0-2, and the first-year head coach Conzo Martin very pleased with a lot of areas right now where they have offensively they've scored a lot of points. They've played with tremendous heart and passion and effort. They're just trying to get a win today and feel a little bit better about themselves heading into Thanksgiving.
Tickets to our one-on-one now for today's game.
For Pete's sake, OB, it's not one-on-one. It was one-on-none yesterday. Tuesday morning, Jerron Mayman was the man. 32 points and 20 rebounds, a Maui record. Memphis had no answer for this guy. If he was 6'9", he would be a legitimate first-round draft pick. He can post-drive the ball, one of the most difficult guys to defend on the island. And that was Tuesday morning. And he shook off the loss by going to the beach and in the water with his friend. That's kind of the only place he struggled yesterday was in the ocean trying to get out. The ocean just kept getting him at the knees, and that's the only thing that could stop him yesterday.
He was brilliant in 40 minutes, 32 points, 20 rebounds. Look at him at the line. There were a lot of fouls in the first half of that game. He made Memphis pay 16 out of 17. Now look at Tennessee's starting lineup. Certainly Mayman is the center. Trey Golden had a very tough shooting day. He was 3 for 19 yesterday. McCray, Tatum, and the 6'9" junior Kenny Hall for Tennessee. Under Conzo Martin, the first-year head coach for the Vols, and looking for his first win here on the island. And for the Chaminade Silver Swords, Lee Bailey is the freshman point guard. Benny Murray can really play. Wally Coulibaly from Australia, he is outstanding. Cooks and Cousins round out the starting 5 for Eric Bovaird. We're going to have Eric mic'd up. Always fun to listen to the coaches in the huddles and on the sideline. We'll listen in on Eric Bovaird today. We're set to go. Of course, Tennessee in their customary orange. Look at today's officials. And we're underway with Chaminade winning the opening tip.
Tennessee, it's not the game that ultimately you wanted to be in on the final day of the Maui Invitational, but you're in. You better lock down and play. This Chaminade team can score some points now if you don't get after them.
Cooks trying to get by Mayman on the drive. Nicely done with the left hand.
You know, Chaminade, this is the highlight of their season. Doesn't matter if it's Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. They have a chance to take down a Division I program, so you know they're going to play hard.
They have lost both of their games to UCLA and Georgetown by hefty margins, but they have been playing very well. Oh, it's Tatum way downtown. The senior out of Lithonia, Georgia, to bury a 3.
Man can really stroke it, shooting 46% from the three-point line at 6'7", measures the rim well.
Chaminade all time in this tournament with a record of 6 and 75. The left-handed little shot there by Cousins won't fall. 3-2 Tennessee. And Tatum will try another one. That one off target. Rebound hauled in by Benny Murray. He's a junior out of Fairfield, California. Came into the tournament averaging over 19 points a game with the Silver Swords. And later we'll test you on exactly what is a Silver Sword. I know you know. You've been to the island so many times.
All I've been doing is preparing.
That's pretty obvious. Preparing water sports. His Cousins can't find a range from the side.
When in Maui, you do as the locals.
You get your wife, your beautiful little daughter Kennedy with you. Having a great time here. Man, blocked from behind. This play by Dominic Cooks to get a hand on it.
I can't imagine the psyche right now of Tennessee and what they're dealing with after losing a double overtime game to their in-state rival Memphis yesterday morning, and now to bounce back and play Chaminade. That is not easy to get back up for this game. No way.
Looks outside up top for Lee Bailey, freshman from Detroit. He takes it out to the top of the key. Just getting started here in a busy day. Last day here in Maui. Bailey missed everything from high up on the wing. And it'll go back over to Tennessee. The championship game coming up later. And, of course, that'll be Duke and Kansas. You talk about coming back after losing a heartbreaking game like that. So many good things came out of it for Tennessee. I think Jerron Mayman has become a star very quickly for the Volunteers. He's handling the ball now. This is another thing he can do, as he's bumped and fouled by Dominic Cooks.
I mean, he's the second big on the floor for Tennessee for 90% of the ball game. So your big guy has to go out and check him, and or his ability to drive it with strength and quickness and toughness. He will be a double-double machine in the SEC this year, Jerron Mayman.
He comes out and gets a rare breather. Not sure exactly why he came out of the game. So quickly here, on the wing, McCray. He'll bury a three-pointer. Another Tennessee sharpshooter worked diligently to put on size. Came to Tennessee as a freshman at 160. He's at about 185 now.
Two long wings on the floor, McCray and Tatum. Ulrich is a long kid that can shoot. This is a good Tennessee ball club.
Bailey trying to shred the D. Scoop shot, no. Tennessee crashes the boards. We're already 5 fouls behind yesterday's pace, Jimmy. Ball in the lane, spins to his right. Got a great look, but couldn't cash it in. Well, a ton of fouls early on between Memphis and Tennessee. Not nearly as many in the second half because so many guys were in foul trouble.
Yeah, that was a very physical ball game. And there's a lot of fouls called because there's a lot of fouling going on.
Well, you know, officials talk about these things when you get a rivalry game with so many great athletes on the floor as we have at Tennessee and Memphis. They know it's going to be physical. They want to make sure it doesn't get out of hand.
I think they stayed on top of it very well. Every game officiating-wise so far in the Maui Invitational, I think they have done an outstanding job.
I would agree. They haven't missed many. Chaminade hit their first shot. They're over their last 5.
Conzo's team giving up about 46% from the field. That's too high of a number for a guy that comes out of Gene Katie tree. You know, defensively is where he's wanting to build this program, and the numbers right now are not quite where he wants them to be.
Trey Golden will stop and pop, but left it short. Follows his own miss. Strong in there. He'll draw the foul. Hit by Ricky Claiborne. And we'll go to the line with 16:27 to go.
Dave, you mentioned earlier Trey Golden struggled yesterday, and mightily he did. He was 3 for 19 from the field in that loss to Memphis. Made some bad decisions down the stretch. He's a terrific college guard, but he's in a real growing process right now. His role, like everyone else for Tennessee this year, has changed. This guy got very little time last year, but he has to understand he has weapons around him, and he can't get into a one-on-one matchup, or that's not what Tennessee will be at their best.
He did have 7 assists in the game, but as you mentioned, 3 for 19. The critical turnover there late, although the call eventually reversed that in the final seconds of the second overtime. And on that traveling violation by Witherspoon, Tennessee got the ball back. And now tie up, 5-second violation. Great defense by the Volunteers. You know, Conzo loves that.
Hit hard ball pressure by McCray. Again, that's the length of the wings that Tennessee can really bother you with. Length and speed defensively equals a nightmare.
Now here's Wes Washman, a freshman out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, who showed off some spectacular hops yesterday. As he went up for a great block, McCray catches a lot of iron and rolls in. Nice touch.
You know, just the right, simple play by Washman. Drive the ball to the teeth of the defense, see what happens, and react off of it. He could become a valuable point guard for Tennessee because he just makes simple plays.
10-0 run here for the Vols. So they're up bright and early. Bailey to drive, little bump there, got tied up, nearly lost it. Claiborne in traffic, left it short. And a rebound in the corner. Nice save there by Tennessee. And it results in an easy slam by McCray.
Well, what a high IQ play by Ronaldo Woolridge. Going out of bounds to have the presence to look towards half court, knowing that at least I'm going to throw it that direction, and Tennessee with a rip and run easily. Look at this play by Woolridge. He gets it, he leaps, and he looks. And McCray is out in front of the pack, and that's an automatic 2. Very smart and alert play by Woolridge.
So Tennessee on the run out, 12-2 over Chaminade. And a timeout with 15:21 to go here in the first half. Later on, it'll be Duke and Kansas. And that's pretty much enough said. That's all you need to say about the championship game. Those two traditionally great programs, and they'll go head-to-head. It was interesting that Bill Self last night, after they rubbed out UCLA, said to Jay Billis, "I'm not going to lie to you, Jay. We came here to play Duke." He said, "Now be careful what you wish for at times, but right? You know, we're dying to get a crack at it."
Well, I think that's the attitude you have to have, and you have to expect Duke's going to come out of the other bracket. I mean, they've never lost here in Maui, and I think one of the big parts of that game tonight will be, I think Duke has the ability to take away those high lob passes around the rim that Kansas is so good at, out of their high-low, out of their transition. Those Plumlee kids now, they're going to erase a lot of that stuff.
Murray, is he going to give it up again? He almost did. It was their second 5-second violation. The stop and pop by Bailey knocked away from him. But Tennessee really clamping down defensively.
They're really playing hard. And again, it is not easy to lose a double overtime game to your rivals and come right back the next morning at 9:30 to play Chaminade with energy, and they have done it.
Senior Woolridge coming off the bench with a lot of energy for Conzo Martin. And Conzo is trying to change the whole culture at Tennessee. Chaminade over their last 8, now the foul. And that'll send Matt Cousins to the line. Really based in defense and steeped in discipline. Now, on another topic, goofing off, here's Jimmy Dice. Another crash landing in the swimming pool.
You weren't open. I couldn't make the pass. You got to get open. Drive your guy. Get yourself open.
Get the gift of football, no matter what it takes. Madden NFL 12, rated for everyone. EA Sports, it's in a game.
It's the moment when forever begins. Kay Jewelers presents Neil Lane Bridal.
Setting has to be perfect. It's where the diamond lives.
Handcrafted rings with diamonds hand-selected by Kay. Every kiss begins with Kay.
1, 2, 3, hit me! A jump start for your game, not your nerves.
Watch me!
The proven push, stamina in a bottle. The original Gatorade. And thirst-quenching protein that helps restore your body while cooling you down. Prime, perform, recover. The G-Series from Gatorade.
Nobody does what Papa John's does.
Get our new double-layered premium pepperoni pizza, loaded with a layer of our signature pepperoni, plus a layer of oversized deli-style pepperoni. Just $11 for a large. Order now at papajohns.com. College football kicks off at noon Saturday on ESPNU.
ESPNU's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Origin Insider Deals. EA Sports will be unlocking big holiday discounts during today's games. Go to Origin Insider Deals on Facebook. And Kay Jewelers. Every kiss begins with Kay.
Welcome back to Maui, the EA Sports Maui Invitational, our 7th place game. Tennessee running out to a 14-2 lead over Chaminade. Now, Duke is undefeated in 4 career trips to Maui, and they have never lost here. Perfect in 92, 97, 01, 07, and so far in this edition of the EA Sports Maui Invitational, including their 2 wins this year, Blue Devils 14-0, and trying to hoist that trophy again here in Maui. Knocking off Michigan yesterday, 82-75. Kansas disposed of UCLA, 72-56. So those Giants will clash at 10 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN for the championship. Matt Cousins at the line, a 6'8 senior from Santa Rosa, California, and drills in the first one.
You know, I look at that Duke ball club and so impressed with the size and the bounce ability, the Plumlee's around the rim, Ryan Kelly, all that he's done. You know, Austin Rivers is one of the top, 2 or 3 freshmen in college basketball this year. But Seth Curry is the key on that team right now to me. I mean, his adjustment from off the ball to be the primary ball handler, he's now guarding the point, and his smooth transition from last year to this year, it has been almost seamless. And Curry right now is one of the better guards in the country, and he's done it with a different role this year for Coach K.
Bray straight on, got a pretty good look off the screen. Tipped out of bounds, and with 14-16 to go here in the half, Tennessee will keep it.
I mentioned Konzo changing the program, what it stands for, and got tickled out of him talking about checking class, and as a former player, he also understands you go back and check class again about halfway through to make sure the guys didn't get up and leave, you know? He understands it all.
He said, I've caught a couple of players initially, but not anymore.
Not anymore.
He learned at the feet of the great Gene Cady. He has great admiration for Konzo. And generally, around Knoxville and Tennessee, you get to think people are very, very pleased with his hire. They were trying to win their first game in Maui, however. Cousins trying to get a little closer, tied up at the foul line. 14-4, the Volunteers. On the spin move, that shot won't fall. Vukocevic trying to get into the rebound. It's a shot clock violation.
And Tennessee's defense has been really good to start this game. Chaminade held to 4 points, but they have struggled to get clean looks.
Eric Bovair, the young head coach for the Chaminade Silver Swords, taking the job here his first year. His wife is 8.5 months pregnant, so this is a big year for him. There's Skylar McBee to get his shot and knock it down. He can do that all day.
Yeah, valuable shooter. A kid that's shooting 61% from the three-point line so far. This is a Tennessee team that can really score, and I like how they look offensively right now with Washburn running the point. He's making good passes, good decisions.
Oh, Murray with a tough shot fouled by McBee. He'll go to the line for a 3-point play.
Murray, a transfer from Division II, Notre Dame, Dina Moore. Probably the best athlete, penetrator, has really good control over his body. For a kid 6'4", gets in the teeth of the defense and slows his pace down a little bit and reads what's happening around him very well.
Grew up in Inglewood, California with 4 sisters, so he didn't see the bathroom until he was 14. 13:09 to go in the half. And now they'll bring Lee Bailey, the point guard, back on the floor. This is a team that really wants to run if they can do it, because Eric Bovair is an assistant at West Liberty, the job he had, the D2 job he had before coming to Division II Chaminade. They averaged 111 points a game last year.
Think about that. They only lost once, right? In the Final Four Division II last year.
When would be a sweet shot from high up on the wing, a 19-7 lead. He has 5 points. Claiborne with the rebound, sticks it back up and in. The man on the spot, Ricky Claiborne, is a senior from Chicago. Chaminade trying to press a little bit. McBee into the trap, flips it up. Miller up high. Manning's been out of the lineup. He's been out of the game for a long time now.
I saw him go to the bench. He kind of grabbed his, looked like the back of his ankle, his Achilles area. I don't know if that's sore. Maybe stretch it, trying to cry out the ocean yesterday.
Vukocevic will swing it. Cooks to get a little closer. Here's Lee Bailey. He'll connect from 3.
They play loose offensively. Chaminade does. And really, we haven't seen a lot of press out of Chaminade. This is how they want to play. Trap the first pass and then chase from behind. Good test for Tennessee in their full-court breaking.
Woolridge really likes to play like a guard. The follow-away shot, that won't drop. And it's tipped out of play. Chaminade will have it. Skylar McBee, a nice lift coming off the bench for Tennessee. Junior from Rutledge, Tennessee. And their best 3-point man, Sweet. He can really let it fly, and Konzo Martin likes the effort from his man off the bench. 19-12, coming up a new era in Knoxville.
You'd be shocked how much data you use in a month. Email, status updates, finding your way, uploading photos, downloading an app, and another app. Kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes, all stacking up until you reach your limit. And what happens if you go over? With Sprint, you don't have to worry. Only Sprint offers truly unlimited data.
Jones about to
fleeing to the countryside.
high-speed versus
With a new 285 horsepower Pentastar V6 engine, it's game over for would-be contenders. The 2012 Jeep Wrangler Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Edition, the toughest vehicle in the world. Any world.
Lose the grime. Get touchably clean hair with Axe shampoo and get some hair action.
Chaminade tightening it up a little bit, down 7 with 11:43 to go here in the first half, and another unbelievable day here in Maui. Conzo Martin taking over the program at Tennessee after 3 years at Missouri State. He talks about building a program in Knoxville.
I think we talk every day about team togetherness, and that's doing everything on and off the court, going to class, study table together, eating dinner together, a level of team toughness, and that's doing the hard things, taking a charge in practice, and embracing when a guy takes a charge. Everybody lifts him up. But it's also the discipline behind everything we do on a consistent basis. One guy's holding another guy accountable. If the guy's not doing right in the locker room, you have to hold him accountable, because that's when we become better as a team.
Conzo has quickly made some key areas in that program non-negotiable. Former All-Big Ten performer at Purdue under Coach K. He played with toughness, terrific scorer of the basketball. But he's a guy that, you know, went to Missouri State, really proved himself as a head coach. Obviously, just has so many things about him as a man, a cancer survivor that he can pass along in terms of toughness and resiliency. But you know, 1 minute late for Tennessee right now equals 10 suicides. 3 minutes late equals 30. And those are the kind of things that he's building right now. Just a level of character and toughness that he wants that program to always stand for.
Murray misfires, a scramble for the rebound, and Tennessee will come away with it. And again, Jerron Mayman remains on the bench as Hall gets free underneath for the deuce. And that's a little bit of a concern right now, certainly as they get ready to leave Maui. Had such a great performance yesterday, one for the ages on the island. And he has barely played here in the first half.
He played 2 minutes, and then I don't know if he took himself out or the staff saw something about his gait, but just watching him walk during the timeouts, he's favoring that right ankle, right Achilles heel area.
Chaminade will have the ball here 21-12, so he remains with that towel over the neck. You've noticed him a couple of times in timeouts. He's been a little bit gimpy.
Well, if he's gimpy at all, then you certainly rest him in this ball game and try to find a way to win it, because they leave here and they play at Oakland, but then on December the 3rd, they play Pittsburgh on ESPN. And I think that's the kind of game that Tennessee, they're going to be an NCAA tournament team. They have the schedule in place to do it.
Again, dropped a heartbreaker in double overtime. The game of the tournament to Memphis yesterday. Floater high out the window by Murray. And now Golden has it batted away in midcourt. Chaminade trying to save, and they do. Here's Cooks with a pull-up pop. And Golden again, the point guard. Nice dish there, and a classy finish by Cameron Tatum, the senior.
For two big wings out ahead of the basketball, McCray and Tatum. Those are good targets that can catch. Off one bounce, get to the rack.
Make no mistake, Tennessee has plenty of guys who can dunk the basketball. But the first drill we saw the Volunteers run in practice the other day on the island was a simple layup drill. It wasn't a dunk drill. It was for about 10 minutes. It was a layup drill.
Just two-line layup was all it was.
Stolen away by Lee Bailey. Tennessee trying to get inside again, and now they'll run the break. Vukasovic in heavy traffic. That won't fall for the 6'6" Serbian. 9:39 to go here in the first half, and a foul. And follow coverage of the 76 Classic, all part of Feast Week presented by Lowe's. Coverage begins Thursday at 2 Eastern on ESPNU. Continues all the way through the championship game on Sunday. ESPN, the home court of college hoops.
Rick Majerus feels like his St. Louis squad has a chance to be an NCAA tournament team this year. Villanova, I think their point guard Malik Wayans is terrific. I think he's set himself up to have a breakout, bust-out year, which he needs to have if Villanova's going to be fighting for an NCAA berth all season long.
Richardson got a great look off the back iron. Rebound came right to him. Here's Golden. Yes, a three-pointer for Trey Golden.
I love his shot when his shot selection is good. I don't like his shot when his shot selection was forced like yesterday.
Murray trying to force the action. No basket there as he was fouled before the play.
Look at Golden. When his feet are set, I mean, there's nothing wrong with his technique at all. His elbow's in good shape going up. The shot elbow slightly out in front of the shot wrist. Everything looks good about that stroke. He just has to understand shot selection is tied directly to his percentage.
Richardson just picked up his first foul for Tennessee. Murray will back it out. Cousins, a turnaround shot, no. Tennessee to run. Volunteers trying to push the tempo here. Golden leaves it off for Richardson. McCray, baseline. Here's McBee. He's had the hot hand. Golden's walking with it. Traveling violation here. You mentioned Rick Majerus in St. Louis. I talked to Coach a couple weeks ago from a colleague here at ESPN. You're absolutely right. He really likes his team. He's got some bigs who can really play. You know what a great job he does with big men.
Yep.
And they are serious about going to the NCAA tournament. St. Louis.
He's been building that thing for 3 or 4 years now. Kind of got stunned last year with a couple of, right before the season started, suspensions and dismissals. But we all know he can coach as well as anyone that he's going to go up against.
Well, I really wonder if we're going to see Jerron Mayman in this ballgame the rest of the way as Murray gets in tight no, tipped out to McBee. Chaminade over their last 8 shooting it. McBee still cooking no. The rebound comes out and tipped by Tennessee off Woolridge.
I'll take that shot from McBee, though, every time. Wide open in transition. The defense ran to the lane and didn't recognize that he's a shot threat, and that looked good coming off of his hand. Nothing wrong with it.
Hey, the positive on Jerron Mayman is he is standing up.
Yes, he is.
From time to time, he's playing the role of top cheerleader for the Vols.
If he remains in that role for the next 28 minutes of this ball game, he's the most talented cheerleader on that bench. Again, if he was 6'9", he would be a legit first-round draft pick, without question.
A strong drive there by Benny Murray. He's the most talented offensive player. He has 5 points. Richardson bouncing through the lane. And Bailey will run the point now for the Silver Swords. Murray, long one. Oh, boy, it hung on the iron. And Cooks, I should say Cousins underneath. He's fouled on the play. As he's hit by Ronaldo Woolridge, his first foul. So 7:31 to go before halftime. Benny Murray starting to get it rolling for Chaminade as they seek a comeback in an upset. The sugarcane train rolls on as well here in gorgeous Maui.
Hi. I like helping people save time, hassle, and the big one, money. Hundreds, in fact, if you're a Progressive customer, like me. Next 100 cars, you're on the messenger. Release the savings, my friend.
ESPNU is the home court of college hoops.
Open look. Hits the three.
Sunday at noon. It's a battle for respect in Michigan. After a rough start, senior forward Draymond Green leads the rejuvenated Spartans against Eastern Michigan. Then at 9:30, head coach Shaka Smart and the reloaded Rams battle JaMychal Green and the Crimson Tide.
Oh, my goodness!
Michigan State, Eastern Michigan at noon. VCU versus Alabama at 9:30. Sunday on ESPNU.
Are the spice bottles in your kitchen out of control? Do you end up searching in every cabinet just to find the one you want? What you need is Swivel Store, the space-saving organizer that conveniently keeps all your spices in less than 4 inches of space. It turns any cluttered mess into an organized success. Swivel Store fits all standard-sized spice bottles and containers, yet takes up no more space than this cereal box. No installation required. All you do is place Swivel Store in your cabinet. Call now and get your Swivel Store for only $19.99. But call right now and we'll double the offer and give you a second Swivel Store as a bonus. Just pay separate shipping. That's right. You get both Swivel Store sliding organizers for only $19.99. Your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back. This is a TV-only offer, so call or go online now.
Call 1-800-750-1629 to order Swivel Store for $19.99 plus processing and handling, or log on to buyswivelstore.com. Call or log on now.
Tennessee with a 26-14 lead over Chaminade with about 7.5 to go in the first half of the 7th place game. All part of Feast Week presented by Lowe's. Here's a look at the Old Spice bracket in Orlando. Texas Tech, Indiana State, Minnesota DePaul, Dayton, Wake Forest, and Arizona State and Fairfield. The semifinals coming up on Friday. You can see those on ESPN and ESPN2 championship game on Sunday. Now to Mayman. And Jimmy, let's take a look at how he comes down here on his right foot.
Well, he hasn't done anything in this game that has taken him out of the lineup. He woke up this morning, they said sore and tight, his right Achilles. They just went to their bench during the timeout. And so, you know, he woke up this morning like a guy that had played 40-plus minutes and went for 32 points and 20 rebounds, just tight and sore and couldn't get loose. His right Achilles maybe a little bit tighter than what you'd like. So just precautionary right now. You see him kind of messing with it, that, you know, if we can win this game without him, that would be best.
So 26-15, Cousins, 6'8" senior at the line. Chaminade started out the game 1 for 10, and they're now 1 for their last 10 in this one. 10-point lead for the Volunteers. McCray hopping into the lane, and that'll roll in. No one came out to shut it down. They believe he's a much better shooter than he showed last season when he hit 37% overall. He was 27% from 3.
I think he's really, really talented. His question mark is how much hard coaching is he going to absorb and take. So far, he's been very good in that area. Last spring when Conjay took that job, now he laid the law down with guys. And he made it tough on him. He wanted to find out who really wants to be in that orange jersey and who doesn't. And McCray maybe fought a little bit early. I think he is really buying in to become a terrific player.
Going to pass out of that trap. He does for Golden. Shovels it back to McCray. Takes the bump. He'll go to the line. Buying in We've heard that phrase a lot from the Tennessee coaches, from people who cover the team. You cover the Southeastern Conference with Brad Nessler, so you see a ton of Tennessee. You know the program so well. But that is really